Hey, hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the Awkwardness Podcast, where every episode we talk to an awesome musician about their first attempts at expression through song, and they play us one of the first songs they ever wrote. We're your hosts. I'm Rose Sean.
I'm Terence Leclerc.
And I'm Tony Tancredi.
Now, today's guest is straight out of Irvine, and I knew the moment I heard his 2020 single, All I Need, that he was our people. Kaio Mars is writing beautiful music, woven through with just the kind of nostalgia we're about here on Awkwardness. The man behind the Kaio, Aideen Sadeghi, is no newcomer to the indie music scene, and you'll hear a lot of familiar names in the mix in this episode if you've listened to our episodes with Eric Kanata and Double Wish, which you should. Once again, Orange County connections, baby.
That's it.
I don't even think I need to ask how Tony knows him, but I'm going to anyway.
Hey, Tony, how do you know him?
Yeah, well, I met Aideen forever ago, and I want to say it was like backstage at a Young the Giant show or something. And I remember us talking about our bands and possibly playing shows together, and we did. And Aideen is definitely on my list of people that were born to play music, and just wait till you get to hear his performance of his old tune. I love his voice.
Yeah, same.
Yes, and we think you will too. He's got a great story and great music, so let's get into our session with Kaio Mars. That's for the
Cream
bonus.
colored because it's Jeff Buckley.
Oh yeah. That's for the Patreon subscribers.
That's right.
So
but here
hi.
we are. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
With Kaio Mars. Kaio
Mars.
Kaio Mars.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kaio Mars.
Kaio Mars.
Kaio
Aideen.
Mars.
Aideen.
My man.
Thanks
I
for having
know.
me.
I called him Aideen, and you called him the band name. So
That's
well,
perfect.
now we got our bases covered.
we
Welcome.
got all bases covered. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
We're so
Yeah.
glad to have you here.
I'm excited.
We
Slightly nervous.
Well,
Oh
don't
my
be
goodness.
Hey, don't worry, me too.
because, well, for a number of reasons. First of all, we're nice, but also perfection is not the goal. So you don't have to feel any pressure.
It's okay to get rockward.
We like to do like a cursory Google search of our guests, and
It's the least we can do, really.
it is truly the least we can do. We do the
actual
absolute least we can
and
do.
listen to Spotify.
Yeah, that too. But you have this amazing write-up in Atwood magazine.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a really nice article. It was funny. I mean, we had already booked you, but I was reading it and I was like, oh, this guy is our people, because there was a whole paragraph about how, like, your music is like about nostalgia and coming back to like the songs that shaped you, and that is literally like what our podcast is about.
Yes.
So I was very excited to read that.
Cool. Yeah.
So maybe start with the songs that shaped you.
Songs
Yeah.
that shaped me. Oh my God.
So many, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what
Yeah.
was like, it was first songs, right? Like the kind of, maybe
First
not the
songs.
ones you might not have known that they would shape you, but like you heard it like early songs that you were like, you know what, I want to do this.
I mean, I can tell you from like prior to playing music, like music is a big part of like my upbringing. My family, they were big music nerds. Not nerds maybe, but they liked all types of music. So I grew up on like Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Is probably my dad's favorite like Western artists. My parents are Persian. I'm Persian. They listen to a lot of that music, which I don't like that much. But there are a few songs I do like.
It's okay. You can admit it.
But yeah, Bob Marley. I think there's like a home video of me like going like crazy in my crib listening to Buffalo Soldier.
Oh, we're gonna need a video of that. We're gonna need.
Yeah.
It's somewhere.
we'll
It's
put a
somewhere.
link.
It's like old VHS.
We're gonna need a copy.
But like I don't remember how old I was, but I do remember the first time I heard BB King. Thrill Is Gone.
Yeah.
Just because that was what was out at the time. But I heard that and I was like, whoa, that's cool. Like the little BB King vibrato, the little like
Lucille.
4-note. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I got this one.
I know. That's
That's
it.
why I got this one. But
I
It's
mean,
Epiphone. It's
I
not
love
a
hollow
dot, is
body.
it? Is it a dot?
it's
like
it's
the
a
casino?
Sheraton,
Sheraton.
Oh, yeah.
which I don't think they make anymore.
Yeah.
I bought this when I was in high school.
No
And
way.
Nice.
The day I went to buy this, I was going to buy a particular acoustic guitar, and I don't remember what it was exactly, but I was about to pay, and then I looked on the wall and I saw this, and I was like,
calling to you.
"Whoa, what the fuck is that?"
Oh, that's fate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I was like-
That's magic.
I'm like, I'm good on this acoustic. I want this one.
Nice.
So I've had this ever since. And
I see that meme with the red dress, and it's that guitar with the red dress. You know what I'm talking about? Where the guy's like walking with a girl, and he's looking back like,
yeah,
"Ooh."
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
the
walking away with
acoustic
the
and, like-
acoustic, but
So as a toddler, you were really into Bob Marley, but when you got to be more like, I don't know, 13-ish and like kind of getting into your own thing, like what you liked versus what your parents liked, what were you kind of into?
13. So 13 is, I guess, right around my freshman year of high school. So that was also around the time I got my first guitar, and
Was it before this one?
it was before this one.
Oh,
yeah.
what was that one?
It's a Squire acoustic.
Yes,
Yes.
always the Squire.
Squire.
That's where you start.
Yeah.
I was like into like sports and stuff
Yeah.
before. I grew up playing soccer, and I basically like blew my chances to make my high school soccer team. And I think that was like my dad's way of kind of consoling me.
Aw,
Aw,
that's,
like, hey, I got
that's
this,
sweet,
you
actually.
know.
that's really nice.
Or maybe that's what I think, and he had no clue. And he's
Yeah,
just
maybe he was
found
just
a
like,
guitar.
oh, play guitar. But
yeah.
you're like, oh, thanks,
But yeah,
Dad.
at first I didn't touch it, and then we had some family friends come, and they were coming to visit, and their like son, who's my age, had started learning guitar, and he took my guitar. We were in my bedroom, and he started just playing like a super basic blues lick, you know, and I was like, whoa.
Possibilities.
So I went at that point. I went back to BB King blues and that stuff. Like, yeah, just going through like my parents' music, like Eric Clapton, stuff like that. And then sort of start of high school, I got into a little bit like the weirder stuff. So like Radiohead, who
Yes.
are one of my all-time favorite bands, but when I first heard them, I like was not a fan at all. I was like,
What was like
Really?
the first album?
I didn't listen to an album at first. It was a song. It was like individual songs. I can't remember which song it was.
What year? Like,
That's so funny that
It's
you
20
didn't like it at first.
I didn't like it at first. It was
it's, they got out there. Like if you like came
Oh,
into
yeah.
them listening to like Pablo Honey, the Bends, you're like, it's a rock band. OK Computer, you're like, okay, they're geniuses. And then after that, Kid A and stuff, it's like weird electronic stuff. So you're like, what's happening
Yeah,
here?
I
I loved
don't,
it all, but I get it.
I don't remember the first song I heard, but the first song I heard where I was like, "Oh, this is tight." It is, I think it's called "Lucky."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on a.
yeah, exactly. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, and so a friend from high
It's OK
school,
Computer, yeah.
he showed me that, and I was like, "Who's this?" And he's like, "It's Radiohead," and I was like, "Oh, I thought they were bad, but maybe I just didn't listen to the stuff I liked."
They changed so much.
They did, and then from there, this was, by the way, like 99% of these songs were like what my like first ever girlfriend, she like made me like 5-6 mixed CDs. She gave me, yeah.
Yes.
That's how you get
That's a
into
lost art.
music is through
It's a lost art,
relationships.
yeah.
It's a lost art.
But she
Yeah.
got me into like weird stuff, like Caribou before it
Oh,
was
yeah.
Caribou.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was called. He was making music as Manitoba.
Oh God.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was the same.
Yeah, there's this song.
Project.
And I never got into like the album thing. I did a little bit later on, and now I'm kind of back out of the album phase, like listening to albums. But there's this one song called "Every Time She Turns Around, It's Her Birthday," and that song, it's like an 8-minute song. I also started
it.
smoking weed around the same time.
It is funny how that influences your
Yeah.
Yeah, and
appreciation
again,
of
you're
music.
like,
Yeah.
possibilities.
It unlocks songs.
But yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
so much new stuff that I'd never heard before. Even like Dylan, I never listened to, like my parents didn't listen to Dylan, and I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. Subterranean Homesick Blues was the first song I heard by him.
Nice.
And I was like, wow, what is this? You know?
Yeah, right? Like, what is this song?
Yeah, so I just kind of got into a more eclectic, sort of broader range of music, I guess, around that age, and started learning how to play it around the same time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's such a cool, I mean, that sort of age of discovery in your life where you're like, what do I independently like as a person? Like independent of, you know, what my parents listen to or what, you know, yeah. What the thing that you're discovering on your own, I think that's such a like beautiful formative phase where you're like, and it's such a part of like figuring out who you are as a person too. And
Totally.
just, yeah, what
Relationships,
do
too.
I like? What do I like?
Or it's like, you know, if you're like dating someone who's like really cool and you're like, what do they like?
Or if you're
Love
lucky,
compounds it.
yeah. Or if you're lucky enough to have like a cool older brother or sister
That
who's
too.
like, check this out.
Or a
Yeah.
cool high school girlfriend.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
like you
yeah.
had the cool high school. I mean, the mixtape or CD is just, yeah. I mean, a playlist just isn't the same because somebody can hand you the thing. And
Yeah.
I had,
Like, I made
had like,
this.
I had like a cool older cousin, so that was my, that was like my influencer.
Yeah.
Verified.
Yeah, I know. I hate to use that word because of what it's come to mean, but it's those people in your life who influence you, and it's neat that you had like the girlfriend who was like kind of plugged in, because also like at that age, I think the person you're dating, I mean, their influence is everything.
Yeah.
You absolutely care what they think on every subject.
Yeah, I got lucky because she was kind of the first person, and then around the same time I met a couple others. I met another friend who later we'd be in a band together, my first like real band, and he got me, like he is one of like the most creative guitarists that I've heard, and he got me super into like the Mars Volta and
Yeah.
the Chili Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Like I knew the Chili Peppers because they were on the radio, but he was like he's a huge John Frusciante fan,
Yeah.
and got me to like hear it differently.
Is this
Eric?
Is this Eric?
No, this isn't
No.
Eric, but
Because we interviewed him and he was talking about those bands. So
yeah. No, Eric and I, like, I feel like we kind of learned together, but this guy, his name is Darren. He was a year older than us. We all went to high school together, and I feel like Darren was way better than us and like just way more advanced and had a more eclectic taste in music. So I feel like for me personally, I don't know about Eric, but I feel like he was like my sort of person to look up to.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to do what he was doing. Like the first time I went, like, first of all, some random kid, this was high school, so I was like in line for PE, and this random kid that knew I played guitar was like, "Hey, you should meet this guy. He also plays guitar." And then just like being awkward teenagers were like, "Hey, what's up? Like, we should like jam sometime, man." And then I think it was like either that day or like the next day, we went to his apartment and we were like, "Let's jam." And by the way, I was like, so this is before his influence, so I was listening to a lot of Thrice,
Oh yeah.
and like that type of shit, which is great. And then, but like, he's like, "Let's jam," and I'm like, start playing Deadbolt, and and he's like, "What about this?" And he just like starts hitting some like funky ass licks, and I'm like, "What the fuck is he doing?" And then he's like, "Yeah, just like jam," and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." I'm like, "That's not what we play." Like Eric and I were playing like pop punk shit,
Yeah.
yeah,
like,
you're like, I'm not sure if I know how to jam
like,
with
what are you
this.
doing?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, I just play power chords all the time. What is this? So I was like, whoa, this guy is like an actual guitar player. So yeah, I looked up to him a lot, and
Nice.
whatever he introduced me to, I like,
That's
really
cool.
listened to.
Shout out to that other guy for like being like, "Hey, you guys should meet."
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Random.
Yeah,
Funny,
yeah,
like-
the person that put you together. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Some kid I never even talked to.
That's
I
so
was like,
funny.
I'm like, why is he coming up to me?
So you're from Orange County, also, then, yeah?
Yeah, I moved to Orange County when I was 11, but I was born and raised in Germany.
Oh wow,
Oh, cool.
okay.
We're in Germany.
It's a small town called Rosenheim. It's south of Munich
Very cool.
area. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Nice.
So you moved to Orange County at 11.
yes. yeah.
Okay, so you're just like just in time to kind of start like being culturally aware, I think.
Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah.
The first thing I adopted was Dragon Ball Z,
Amazing. Yes.
and then Radiohead.
Yeah. Yeah, it was right.
In that order.
Right. The order of operations was
Oh, yeah.
Orange County, Dragon Ball Z, Radiohead.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's so funny how things roll across your path when you're 12, 13 years old. It's like it is so much informed by your community. So even if it's not your parents, it's like your friends, your girlfriend, or like, just sort of what's popular maybe.
Also, before all that, like before we moved, I was sharing a room with my older sister, and she was stronger than me, and so yeah, I listened before that. I listened to a lot of Christina Aguilera and
Sure.
Backstreet
Yes,
Boys,
that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Influential.
Your older sister was stronger than you. So she just like wrestled the radio away
yeah.
from you?
Literally
Is that what
strong
you're-
armed him. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know, music, like I don't know, like in Germany, like that wasn't a thing that I or anyone around me was interested in. Like we were all about just playing soccer. Like sports was
Life.
everything. Yeah.
Football is life.
Yeah, so when I came here, and I guess I just got lucky with the friends I made too. Everyone around me kind of was picking up music around the same time.
Again, like that influence of your community. It's like, what are the people around you into? It's so influential when you're figuring out what you like. You got your Squire acoustic, which your dad gave you maybe or maybe not as a consolation prize to not making the soccer team.
I think it was.
We'll just say yes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
we'll
good guy.
just
say
Good
it
guy.
was. Yeah.
Okay. How did you go about learning to play? Were you just like learning chords, or were you like trying to figure out like how to play songs you knew?
Sorry, I just thought of something that I don't think I should share. But
No, you should
do it.
share it.
Yeah, yeah.
okay, so it's okay. I was in lessons at first when I first got the guitar, and he kind of saw that I was taking to it. I was reading tabs like on my own. Like I think I learned Deadbolt by Thrice was like the first song every like eighth grader wanted to learn. And then I like took lessons, and my teacher was actually super tight. He kept like trying to get me into bands he was listening to, but he was also kind of more into like prog rock stuff, which I wasn't that much into, like Tool and stuff. And but there were some cool suggestions there, but he had to like they had like a curriculum, so they had to teach me like shit, like classical pieces and stuff. And then eventually came to like not being able to take lessons anymore because I got in trouble for something at home. And then I kind of just went back to tabs. And then like the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade, I had a friend. He's still probably my closest friend. His name's Rod. He, I'd be like at his house every day, and we'd be playing. And he, at that point, was, one of the better guitar players in our group, which none of us were good, but for like, beginners. And he was like, not like a dick, but like being funny, like, oh, you suck, like you can't even play Deadbolt or whatever, stuff like that. So like between that summer between middle school and high school, I was like, I'm gonna practice every day, and like
I'm gonna be the best guitar player
exactly.
in
I
Irvine.
I'm gonna play Deadbolt so good.
I'm gonna play Deadbolt so good.
I'm gonna slay.
Yeah, seriously. And so I feel like I got a lot better in that summer because I really did kind of buckle down and learn a lot. And then I think I just got better as my taste was evolving. I kind of, just got to a point where I don't know if skill wise I was getting like that much better, or probably I was,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like practicing guitar. I was just like, I want to learn this song. I want to learn this song. And then not too long after that, I was like, hey, I could string some chords together too. I can do this and write some shit.
I think that's like such a good way. It's such a like, there's this idea of like learning proper skill on guitar, and yeah, you could learn like a technique or whatever, but just like learning songs and playing them and they sound good. Like, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in terms of
it's-
learning.
And it's so much
right?
more satisfying
Yeah,
too.
instead of
But-
just like, no, play these scales again. It's
Well,
like, okay.
I think that kind of learning really loses kids too, especially
Yeah.
if you're teaching like 13-year-olds. It's like, man, they don't want to play scales. They want to play fucking Deadbolt.
Yeah. Yeah, like I told my guitar teacher before I stopped taking lessons, I was like, I'm not doing scales. Like, that's not what I'm here for.
I'm here for Deadbolt.
I'm here to learn. He taught me how to play Back in Black or something,
Nice.
or TNT.
It's fun to hear about that because I feel like the people who are teaching guitar to teenagers are usually probably in a band and probably just like, well, I gotta like make some money. Like, I'll teach some 13-year-olds some Nirvana songs or whatever.
Right. Oh, for those guitar lessons, did you have this guitar for them, like the electric one?
No, this one I didn't get until probably I was like in junior year or something, or even later maybe.
So that's when you had like gotten serious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were gonna buy another acoustic.
Yeah, well, I had my first electric guitar was this like really shitty Epiphone SG ripoff.
Yeah.
I have one of those now.
Yeah, those are good.
And I played that. Eric and I used to work at Quiznos together in high school, and I literally
They're really
like
good.
the only reason I wanted a job is so I could just buy guitars. I bought a drum set, and then when I was like, this guitar is like holding me back, I feel like I want something nicer. Then I got this one. And then, obviously like I was trying to get an acoustic, but I was like, the Squire's, it's doing the job. It's aging finally. I don't have it anymore. I gave it away a while ago, but I heard it semi recently, and it totally did get better with age, honestly.
Wait, what's that story?
No,
How'd
they
you
really
hear it?
do. Like even a cheap guitar, they kind of.
Wait, you gave it away, but you kept hearing it.
I gave it to like a homie. Not like that recently, but it was like years after I'd gotten it, a few years after college or whatever, and remember hearing it after not having seen that guitar in ages and been like, damn, this shit sounds kind of good now.
It's
like,
cool.
what happened?
Is it just like
I think it's the wood.
Yeah, it's a wood.
Yeah, the wood kind of dries out in this cool way, but also like, I don't know, man, there is something about like hearing somebody else play your guitar where you're like, wow, this shit
Wires
sounds
age
good.
really
Like,
well, too.
like,
Yeah.
But so you said you started a band with Eric. You've been in like a million bands with Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, like literally, because we used to change our name every week.
I was going to say, I
High
know like you were in at least 2 bands with the exact same lineup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably.
What's that about? Like you just like we're just buds and you're like, I like playing music with you, so.
Yeah, I met Eric like the first week of high school. I went to a different high school than pretty much everyone that went to my middle school. So I ended up going somewhere else, and I had like literally no friends, and I signed up for guitar. And the first week went by, and then that weekend I was going to see my friend Rod, who used to make fun of me.
Is he the guy who like said you can't play?
That I suck, yeah. So he's like,
they're best
shout out to him. It's
Yeah.
like he's the one who's been pushing you. He's been
he
your
is.
coach
Right?
this whole time.
Shout out Rod. He knows I love him. But yeah, so he was like, oh, dude, like, you should come over and jam with my friend Eric. And I'm like, who the fuck is Eric? I've been friends with this guy for like 3 years. I never heard
Who is
of
this friend you have that
him.
I don't
who's-
already know?
I'm like, you have other friends?
Yeah, not allowed.
But we went over and like we met up, and there was a couple other people there, and then I was like, oh, we're in guitar class together. So he was a loser too, so we gravitated to each other.
But weren't we all?
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, I was a total loser.
It was really like it was perfect chain of events right there. We would just spend like all our time in guitar class just like jamming. Our teacher was super cool. We'd be like, guys, that's not the lesson,
And you're like,
guys.
We'd be like, listen to this jam we made, But yeah, so we just messing around, making music, making little beats and stuff, and just kept playing together as we got older, and like just through the years just kind of stuck together playing music.
That's great. I love that you were able to like build that community so early.
Yeah, we had a pretty dope community, like even outside of the immediate friend group, like Tony's a big part of that, and
Shout out.
yeah, exactly.
Shout out to
Shout out to you.
But even like today, just like all the people, and like you kind of realize everyone sort of knows everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But just where we like grew up in Orange County, like I don't know if it's still like that, but it was a thing. Like it was a real scene.
Oh yeah. That was the last of it. I don't really go to shows in Orange County anymore, but I don't think it exists like
Yeah, I
it
have
did
no
back
idea.
when we were all coming up.
We've interviewed a couple people for this podcast. Eric, yourself, Adam. What's Adam's last name?
Symbolic.
Zabolic.
He was in your band, right?
Yeah, he was the bass player of Mount Osa, and
Yeah,
he's
so
just doing
like-
Double Wish now. Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
and then Travis
yeah.
from Atreyu, he's also part of the like Orange County deal,
Yeah.
and the other Tony,
Yeah, other Tony, Dance
Tony
with the
Kim.
Dead. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's from Orange County.
and then the like it was just like it's really funny. It's like become very
world.
clear to me what a scene was happening there at a certain
It
time.
was dope. Like,
It was awesome.
The first time I met Tony doesn't remember this, but I remember the first time I met Tony.
Test me.
I was so nervous to meet like him and his bandmates. Because they were like the cool band in OC, and you know they're like a bit older than us, and I was like, damn, they're so cool.
They play
Not
in LA.
even.
We should
Yeah.
ask. We should ask. Yeah, we should ask them if we could open for them. Like, do you think we should do that? You know, like shit like that, and then
Oh, that's so that yeah.
And did you?
no.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we played a couple shows together, right? We played House of Blues, right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we played
There
House
you
of
go.
Blues.
Yeah, that's true. That was
House of Blues
Hell yeah.
again. It
In
comes
Anaheim.
back to BB King.
Oh, the House of Blues in Anaheim,
Which is no longer
Oh.
there, I don't think,
The
right?
House of Blues on Sunset ain't there either.
Oh,
I don't know
really?
if House of Blues exists.
Damn,
at
they're all gone.
No, it's all gone. Yeah.
I mean, New Orleans is still there, and that one's pretty sweet.
Right.
So yeah, like were you writing songs like? Did you split duties in terms of writing songs, or were you like kind of like, how did it all work? Because I guess you both were kind of jamming, you and Eric, back in the day and stuff.
Yeah, basically like he had stuff that he was making on his own. I had stuff that I was making, but we were also hanging out like very often after school or whatever, and would just make jams and record them. He had like Cubase.
Oh yes.
Nice,
Man,
Cubase.
so many people used Cubase back then. It
That
was,
was-
it
that
was
was
the
the
It
shit.
came with
Yeah.
something. It was like
A
one of those
PreSonus
bundles.
gear.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm pretty sure. If,
That yeah,
I don't know if that's correct, but I think that's how he.
I think you
got
would
it.
get that. It's true.
Yeah. So
Cubase ALT or something. Yeah,
yeah. So Eric's house was like the let's record
that's awesome.
spot.
So what was like? Because you got your guitar there, and of course we're all about like let's hear the song. Was there like a song you brought in that was like from back in that day?
No, it's a little bit later. I want to say the song I'm gonna play. I think I wrote when I was in college, so just after high school at some point.
That's cool. What made you choose that song? Was it like you were developing more?
It's like just one that I have a recording of, and
Nice.
I could remember.
So you could actually access it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know so many old stuff. It gets lost. You know.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
It's like, you
Yeah.
won't remember.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
or
been
like-
15 years.
Yeah, or like it's in a hard drive somewhere, probably. It's funny how data gets lost.
Yeah. Also, just I didn't have recording equipment until I went to college and I got
Oh wow. Yeah.
a laptop. So I don't know. Eric has it somewhere. Everything, like prior to that.
It's holding on to it.
I'm going to
All
text
right,
him.
we're
man.
gonna. Yeah, I was gonna
I
say we're
hope-
gonna hit him up.
I hope he
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah, I don't. He probably. I'm sure. he
What was
has
that
somewhere.
band called?
Downside Up.
Nice.
Pre Young the Giant. Pre Strange Birds.
Yeah.
So was Strange Birds next?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it was the same lineup, but we called ourselves Nature Tunnel because we thought it was funny.
yeah.
And then we're like, let's not do that. And we had a really bad show. We were opening for the Jakes at the time
Yeah.
in Costa Mesa at this place called Evocal.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Little art studio.
Yeah, exactly. Right across the street from Detroit Bar.
Yep.
And we like bombed so hard.
How do you bomb?
I feel like we were doing fine, and then at some point, like our last song, which was like, we're saving the best for last.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but like everyone stopped playing in the middle of the song, and I was like, "What is going on right now?" And I was mad because I was like, I like this song a lot, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Yo, we're gonna play this again from the top." And
Wait, why did everyone stop playing?
I have no idea.
Like
just
they-
like got messed up.
I
I
think
mean, that
so.
happens. The drummer gets off a little bit.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like the vocal.
yeah.
Something happens with the vocal, and then people get.
Ugh, I
in a
didn't know if
different
they like
headspace
stopped
and-
because they were just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Or
no,
it's
Yeah, it was-
I'd like to say I've never been there, but
Yeah, I've been there for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, it was
where
really
you're
awkward.
like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I heard like afterwards, I heard someone. It's like it's like not that big of a place, someone's like, man, I feel bad for the nature tonal band. And I was like, thanks.
Oh no.
Well,
Wait,
it's
but you started
compassionate.
from the beginning and then you got through the song?
Oh yeah, I was like into the mic. I was like, sorry guys, I think I said this is what happens when your band doesn't practice.
Oh no.
And then because we didn't, and I was like, we're gonna start it from the top.
But then you got through the song, so you redeemed.
Yeah,
But
Maybe.
yeah, I get it. Damage done.
You're
but it
like,
was good because that's like kind of
You get that pity
almost
clap
the
at
worst
the
thing
end.
that could
Yeah.
happen.
Oh yeah, no, it's good to get that out of the way in
Yeah.
a smaller venue for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it will happen to everybody.
Yeah, people, like afterwards when I really got into playing shows and stuff, they're like, "Are you nervous?" I'm like, "Oh no!" Like,
No, the most embarrassing thing.
yeah,
has
the most
already
embarrassing
happened.
thing
Yeah.
that could have happened already happened.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that happened like twice or something.
Same song.
Not same song, but like probably I think it was like our first two shows. It was literally like that second show where like fuck this band, and then it was like, well, we don't have any other people to play with. Let's just do a new band. Like just pretend that one doesn't exist.
That's funny.
Just change the name and
Yeah,
no
change
one
Yeah.
will.
It's expert marketing.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
No one will know.
one way
Yeah,
to do it. So the song you're gonna play for us, is that from that project or is that?
It's from Strange Birds, which was when we were like, let's actually try and
Oh, okay.
and do
Right
this.
after Nature
So
Tunnel.
once you decided you were gonna actually try, I love that.
I was some other people weren't as committed.
yeah,
let's just
I
say
know.
that.
I know what you mean.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
You're young. You don't know if it's going to work out.
Yeah, yeah.
You have other stuff going on.
Or
I don't
you're
know.
like, oh, this is fun. Or some people are like, oh, this is fun, but I'm going to be a dentist. And other
Yeah.
people are like, no, I'm going to be a fucking rock star. Let's do this.
Yeah, I think that was also like at first we were trying to be a band, like let's make it up on the spot type of thing. And then when that obviously didn't work out, myself and the bass player Brett, who's then later in a band with myself and Eric and Francois, which is American Pets.
Yeah.
Him and I started hanging out and just writing songs together. He was actually living with Eric at the time. So I would just go, like Eric would do his stuff with the Jakes, and then Brett and I would like write songs together in their little closet. They had their little setup, and I think then like really for me it was like, okay, we're like, it's not just like jamming or like, hey, look at this thing I learned on guitar like yesterday, so I want to make a whole song around that. It's like, oh, we're like writing songs,
Nice.
and people actually will have to listen to them.
Right. We're actually going to play this for someone else.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm playing a song from that
Love
project.
it. Any specific story you want to share for us to listen for, or maybe you'll reveal the secrets after? The secrets of the song.
You know what? I was going through those songs, and I was like, I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? Like, like what did I don't know, because
Like, what is this even about?
yeah, the lyrics are like, they're not like literal, it's like sort of this like a little poetic. And I was like, I'm wondering about my own state of mind back then. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking about? Or
Yeah.
or
What was I even talking about? I know.
yeah, I once played a show like an entire song with my volume down.
Oh, no.
Wait, I still can't hear
I
it.
feel like it's still down.
Might be the input.
Oh, there we
There we
go.
go. Yeah.
There it is.
Give it a wiggle.
Here, it's the cable just needs to straighten out a bit.
There you go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We're there.
It's vintage. Alright. Okay, so tune-ish. Okay, cool. So this song is called Underwater, and yeah, I don't know what it's about. I'm just trying to make a cool song, I guess. And I got roped into singing. I'd never wanted to sing, actually. I wanted to only play guitar, but I think it was Brett. He was like, you should just sing. I don't want to sing. And I was like, well, somebody's got to fucking do it. So yeah, I just started writing, I guess. So anyways, this is the song. Yeah. Actually, hold on. I might play it. That's how it is on the recording, but I kind of like it 6/8. Like.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
For like.
That feels more underwater to me.
I like it.
And you're underwater, wide awake. It don't matter what the talkers say, 'cause you're right. You know what only you could want. So hold on, we're going down. And if you could only feel it too, let me hear the voices calling through the open streets, and all the sirens say we're alone. Oh, oh. And you're underwater, wide awake. For a moment thought that you might stay, 'cause time flies, and I don't want just anyone. So hold on, we're going down. And if you could only feel it too, let me hear the water calling through the open streets, and all the sirens say we're alone. Oh, oh, oh. I could change, and I wouldn't need ya. Oh, shit. I forgot the lyrics. Something like that.
Yeah,
That was awesome, man.
That was the bridge.
That's awesome. So that was from
Your
Strange
voice.
Birds.
Yeah.
so
Your
good.
voice sounded so good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that did you guys release that?
That's on
yeah.
Bandcamp. And it's the only place that I know that it still exists.
Cool. And you wrote that in college?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ooh.
Underwater. So
Yeah.
it wasn't in 6/8, like you were messing around with different time signatures and stuff.
I think it sounds better in 6/8 when
does.
it's not the full band thing. But
Mm.
full band, it's just 4/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, the recording is definitely more like indie rock, and then but it sounds, I don't know, it's too much strumming in between the vocals.
Yeah, that makes
when
sense.
it's acoustic.
So Strange Birds, and that was sort of the college phase, and you were like gigging and stuff.
Oh yeah, pretty heavily with that band. Not at first, but we kind of got our shit together, and I remember the first show I booked. I did it like when we only had a couple songs because it was just like taking too long to get a set. So I was like, we have a show in like a month or whatever, so we got to write 3 more songs. And it was like, they weren't good songs, but I think
But at least
it
you
got
had
the
a full
ball
set.
rolling.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's cool. So you guys were kind of gigging with that, and then like, what was the sort of sequence of events that moved you from like that band to American Pets to Travelers to like whatever other projects? I mean, because seems like you've done a lot, like under a lot of different names.
Yeah. So Eric started Travelers with Brett because they were sharing a room at the time. So I was in a band with Brett, and then Eric and I were playing music together because that's just what we did. And then they went and recorded some stuff one night, and I thought it was dope. And then I think they were like, oh, we should start a side project. And I was basically like, I want to be in it. Like I wasn't in the first recordings, but I was like, this is tight. I want to be in it.
Playing guitar
Oh,
or singing?
Yeah, I was like, I'll play guitar, sing, whatever you need to.
Yeah.
And it was that
Happy.
American Pets or
That
Travelers?
was Travelers. So Travelers and American Pets are the same.
I was going to say
band.
it's the same it's the same lineup I noticed.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
exact lineup.
So I kind of actually wanted to ask you about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh my god, yeah,
You're wearing a Lakers hat, by the way.
yeah. I should have known.
I mean, no, it's great. Like it's so funny because it's like it's a objectively fucking great song. It's just funny because it's like you're sort of expecting different words.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just really kind of speaks to how like it's just it's just a good melody. It's just like nice harmonies. It just sounds good, and I kind of love it because the age that I am, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was such a just like cultural touchstone. I mean, he was in Airplane. He was like iconic, even beyond basketball. Because I did not grow up being into sports,
Yeah.
but I'm curious like what that meant to you guys.
Honestly, I wrote that song as a joke, and I sent it to Fran because him and I are like the kind of basketball heads. I don't know exactly what transpired that went from a joke demo from my computer to let's record this. So we released that on like a B-sides thing, which is like the last thing we put out as American Pets. But I was like not down to put that song out. After a while, I'm like, I don't know, like we're putting out all these like heartfelt songs, and then to put like a joke song on there, it didn't feel right. But no, it was cool. It was fun to play it at shows because a lot of our live show was very like slow songs, like soft like stuff. Like
So that gets people excited.
so yeah, it was like the
Yeah.
break in between like being super depressed because all the songs were really sad. So it's like, okay, this one's just like a funny one. And
Yeah, you got to have that in the set. You got to get people going.
yeah, it was cool. I mean, the recording sounds pretty tight.
It sounds amazing. I mean, that's kind of why I brought it up because I'm like, wow, this is like probably the best joke song I ever heard.
But yeah, we did all those songs in the same, I guess it was 2 or 3 days at John O'Brien's studio.
Yeah.
I think it's still called the Music Box.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is, yes.
He moved down to Idlewild.
I'm not sure where, but yeah, he just got
Oh.
a new space.
But yeah, we did that at his studio. I think it was Fullerton at the time. And yeah, we did like maybe 10 to 12 songs. And then I think we put 6 out as American Pets. And then when we kind of, when it was like, okay, I think we're done with this band, we just put out the rest. I kind of stopped playing music like on my own, like trying to pursue it like that. I think I was just kind of jaded from just having the experience Strange Birds, like putting so much into it and seeing it progress, and then it kind of fell apart just because of like personnel issues. I think we just kind of started butting heads a little more and stuff, and so I was really like down on music for a long time.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, which I think it's cool. Like it's cool because now that I'm back in it, it just like now I know how important it is to me. Like it's not something you can just throw
Can't
away.
just walk away, man.
must. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of just did the Travelers thing, and then Travelers kind of ran its course, and we kind of pulled, the Nature Tunnel Strange Words thing. We're like, let's change our name and maybe change up the style. It was a lot of acoustic stuff before that, so like I think we were just trying to do more of a band thing and play our respective instruments. And we did that with American Pets, and I think we did a pretty good job with that album, given that we've basically never had, it was just like a few days of figuring out songs and recording them like on the spot.
Wow.
That stuff is not very like thought out. It's like I have this idea, put some bass on there, put some whatever on there, let's get it recorded, and that's how it pretty much went.
What were you recording on and stuff?
Like individually?
Yeah.
I use Logic, so I just was just using like PreSonus and DI guitars.
That's great.
And I think just like a SM57, which honestly I still do that same setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think when Eric and Fran were on tour, they had some sort of mobile situation going on, like like probably like a USB mic.
Oh,
or
so you guys
something.
were kind of postal servicing it. Like you were
Yeah.
recording your parts individually.
Not parts, but songs. So we would record our little ideas and then send them or email them to each other and be like, hey, I made this. This could be cool for Travelers,
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
So it was kind of like that. And then when we finally did have the chance to get back together, like when they would come home and whatever and not be busy, then we'd be like, okay, let's, meet up, let's figure some stuff out. And then usually like once we met up, it was already like, okay, we set this date to record for 2 days and we're gonna do like 10 songs live. So a lot of it was just like while John was like setting up mics or something, we'd like kind of rehearse and try stuff and write little parts. Basically every like lead part, every lead guitar part or whatever, it's all on the spot. Like
Wow.
we need a lead part.
Wow.
Someone's like, all right, I'll come in and slay real quick.
There's something really cool about that, about, you know, kind of that first take energy about like not overthinking it and just being like what feels good, you know?
Yeah, I think it was dope. It worked sometimes and sometimes it didn't, but yeah, it was new to me because I was so used to separate tracking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, you know, a lot of the bands that like did it this way, and it's cool. It forces you to be on your game, sort of, which I generally was like, oh, just edit that shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
We'll fix it later.
fix it later. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was nice to switch it up. Yeah.
It's cool. And then, so how far, I mean, you said you took a break from music on your own. Like, so how far of a break was it between that and doing what you're doing now?
Well, it was like, I can't quite remember. I do remember like actually going to Tony's house in Dana Point to record a couple songs, one of which I think I'm going to put out pretty soon, actually.
Which one?
Cut Me Open.
Dude, I'm serious right now. I listened to that song for probably like 6 months straight, and everybody in my group was listening to it for like 6 months straight. It's so good still.
Thank you.
I saw that recording.
When do we get to hear it?
So can I send it to them?
Yeah,
Can you
of course.
play
Okay,
some of
sweet.
it?
It's from like, what, 2014?
Yeah, so I'm not using that particular recording, but I am using tracks from that recording, and the one that I ended up reproducing it. But
Yeah, it's a rad song.
But we did the first version of it at your house. So I'm putting that song out. That was like 2015 or something.
Wow.
Putting it out as Kaio Mars.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
'Cause that was
I'm excited, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, so there was, I want to say, probably a solid like 3-year period. I like sold my amp, I sold my drum set, I sold my other guitar.
Wow, you were really
In
like
there.
renouncing the rock and
Yeah,
roll.
I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
this
I'm
was
done.
That's
fuck
what you
music.
do when you rebel.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. I get it.
And I was broke, so I needed money.
I mean,
And then I don't know why. Eventually, I was like, all right, like, you know, who are you kidding? Like, you're miserable. Like,
It's who
just
you
mix-
are.
Yeah.
It's who you are.
You were born to play music.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, fuck it, let me just do this. And
I'm so glad you didn't sell that Ep.11, man.
oh yeah,
Same.
I'll never sell this.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be in the family for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kick myself for selling my first bass all the time.
I sold
I
my
wish.
telly.
Yeah, I wish I had
Yeah.
it.
I sold
Like,
my
why?
telly.
It wasn't even that much.
No, totally. For $100,
You know,
like, why did
yeah.
you do that?
Yeah, I sold I had a Telecaster that I sold,
Yeah.
but I also didn't use it that much. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've tried to tell myself like, oh, it'd be sick to get a new guitar, and then I'll just be like, but why?
yeah, but why?
Like
yeah.
you're still
But
gonna
why?
choose this one every
Totally.
time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just like, this is my guitar.
Yeah.
I'm good with this. Yeah. So then I started writing. Tony and I kind of re-met at a party at Eric's house, and
Yeah.
then we started hanging out, and then started like he like recorded my music for me, and then I kind of went back into not wanting to do music. I think a lot of it was because I was like, damn, I've been out of this for so long. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even know where to begin.
Yeah, you just
Right.
think like, oh, the world has moved on without me.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
something like that. And so I finally got over that. And also kind of, you know, I think when I was younger, I was kind of doing music for the wrong reasons. You know, you want like the glory and
Oh, same, yeah.
you know,
yeah,
the
you want
money,
like chicks or
exactly.
social cachet or
all that.
whatever.
And then I realized, you know, it's something that's like my entire being is centered around music. Like who I am as a person is entirely like the foundation of it is music. Like I'm a musician. So yeah, I was like, this is what I do. And, you know, I don't care if no one hears it, but like not making music is,
It's just not an option.
it's not an
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm happy, like, even still with the stuff I'm doing now, like, I don't actually care if people hear it. because I just want to be proud of myself, like the music I've made. Because also like with a lot of the songs and being in a band, there's a lot of compromise, especially with, American Pets and Travelers, where all 4 of us are songwriters.
Oh yeah, and
know?
so it's a committee.
Yeah, which is really hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only reason it worked, because we would bring our own songs to the table. But yeah, I was just like, I just want to do my thing and see how it is. Like if it sucks, it sucks, and if it's good, it's good. And either way, it's gonna be because of what I did.
Well, Kaio Mars,
Yeah,
you got a song for us?
Did you want to
or-
play us one of your new songs, or do you want us to do the recording?
I'll give you a recording.
Yeah.
You guys,
Oh,
you guys can do the
So
recording.
introduce the song.
All right, so I released one song kind of at the height of quarantine last August, I think it was, which is called All I Need. It's on Spotify and Apple Music and all that good stuff. So that's my current single.
Hanging on to words that lost their meaning. Sing another verse without the feeling. I wanna go back, listen to the soundtrack with my mom and dad. That's all I need.
I have one final question I wanted to ask you, and it's about All I Need. You reference a soundtrack and that you ripped and listened over and over again. What soundtrack are you talking about in that song?
So those lyrics I wrote with Samir, but that particular line for me was because the line goes, oh my God, what is the line? I want to go back, listen to the soundtrack with my mom and dad.
Yes.
And then when it repeats, it's like the full line, and then it goes, ripped it off the radio, took it everywhere I go.
Yeah.
So that was like back in the day. we used to make mixtapes off the radio.
Yeah.
So
I did too.
we always had the empty tape deck in there, and when you hear a song, you like run to the stereo. You record it, right? So that's basically like talking about like those memories. The song as a whole is about just finding joy in music, which was very relevant to where I was at the time. I was over it, and I think that's something that Samir and I were kind of talking about in the room. So it's just like, okay, well, like what's like that feeling, and the ultimate feeling of music for me is just listening or remembering listening to those like mixtapes, listening to Bob Marley, running to the stereo, as fast as you can.
Because you just gotta be able to hear that song again.
Oh yeah, you
Capture
can't.
it.
It can't be like you gotta run while they're announcing the next song.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get it like a few seconds in. You want to get it clean, like
that's
beginning
a
to
chump
end.
move. Yeah.
Yeah. So just I don't know, just like having fun, just thinking back on being a kid, and just jamming out in the car, like going on little road trips in Europe, and jamming out to Bob Marley and stuff.
So it's not like a specific soundtrack. It's just sort of like the soundtrack of your life, and like the songs that meant something to you at different times.
Soundtrack,
I love that.
like the mixtapes were kind of the soundtrack.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, your own
That's awesome.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
God, thank you so
Thanks
much
for
sharing
sharing your
that with us.
soundtrack with us, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man. Thank you.
Hello?
Dude, Dean, what's up, brother?
What's up, Tony? How you doing?
You answered on the first ring, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I don't have a life.
Oh, shoot. Okay, well, your new songs sound amazing, man. You released 2 songs in like a week. What was that all about?
Thank you, man. It wasn't really about anything. It was just doing it.
Well, they both sound amazing. I'm going to steal them from the internet somehow and put them on the podcast. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Give them to you so you don't have to steal them.
Oh, you'll send them to me?
Yeah, I don't want to miss out on 0.0001 cents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That really dope Spotify revenue. Okay, sweet. Well, shit, man. I appreciate it.
Left me on red, knowing this is so hard. Now I'm driving over, I wanna stay here a while. Some way, somehow, some way, somehow, baby. Yeah. Just getting on feet where you would stay for the night. You I won't repeat, and now we're here for the somehow, baby. Yeah. Out chasing the moon, right into the day. I'm driving alone, looking for some way. I'm wondering if I could ever just come out and say I wanna feel what I guess I keep carrying that way. I keep rolling boulders up the hill till I feel strong. Like nothing's changed. I am on my own, but I will carry on. Love getting to know you, I don't want this to end. Just 'cause you want space don't mean that I can't still pretend that we could be more than just friends. Yeah. Laying with you, I can be myself so free. Trying so hard just to have you next to me. Some way, somehow, some way, somehow, baby. Yeah. I'm chasing the moon, right into the day. I'm driving alone, just wanna feel that light, even if it's just for the night. It's too late to turn back. You know I want you, baby. Always on my mind. The only thing that I see. Let me get this off my chest. Excuse me, I wasn't so bad. Where do we go now that the night is over, baby?
Dean is a low-key funny dude.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's chill as fuck.
The soundtrack of his life became our show.
I read that piece of press on the internet about that song, and I was like, oh, this guy understands. Like, this is
Yeah.
what it's
He gets
about.
it.
We're all
Yep.
about those memories of like,
Nostalgia.
yeah. But those memories of like running to the radio. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I did that. And do yourself a favor and get on over to Spotify and listen to All I Need on repeat. And like maybe just send Ideen like, I don't know, a carrier pigeon begging, because I know I need more Kaio Mars tunes in my life.
Please, Ideen.
Please,
More.
Ideen.
Give us more.
Give us more.
More? You want more? Actually, beg no more. He just put out 2 new songs, like yesterday, practically. You heard Carry On and Off My Chest at the end of the episode, and you can hear them again and again and again wherever you stream music. You better give him a follow on Insta, because you just never know when he's going to drop some new gold. And hey, follow us too. We post all kinds of cool shit.
Smart.
And while you're at it, smash that subscribe button and rate and review, boo. We need all that love to show Algorithm Daddy that we're special. We sure do appreciate you listening and supporting, and we have so much more good stuff coming your way. Next week, we have double the fun with Summer Twins. We'll see you then.
You.